Welcome back to my channel. It's Jrod. It was Jrod.Custom. Today I'm going to be doing a video on some troubleshooting for the conversion light of the touring conversion light on a sport. Some people were asking me when the lights are off, if all the lights turn on when you do the high beams. I'm going to do an example right now. Also, I want you guys to follow me now. I got an Instagram. My Instagram is Jrod.Custom with a Z, Jrod.Cuztom. I have a lot of pictures right there, some back pictures that I have. I'm gonna start sharing new pictures there. So if you could follow me on Instagram. So this is gonna be just some people having trouble with their high beams. It might be their harness, it might be the headlight. So this is just an example with the lights off on the high beams. So as you can see, just the high beams turn on when the lights are off. This is the lights on. Only the outer lights are turning on. The high beams are not on. So the high beams will be just the inside lights. So when your lights are on, only the outside lights are on. When the lights are off, only the inside lights are on. Parking lights, lights on, high beams. Gives you an idea of how the lights work. So the lights are not like the RDX ones that all of them turn on. These just the outer ones turn on, and then the high beams will be the inside ones. That's how they'll be on. But you can't drive it like that because it's too bright. And the high beams, they're like a little bit higher than the lower beams, so like higher in the distance. So right now, before I remove the lights, I'm gonna see if I could do some troubleshooting for some people. I'm thinking if it's not the headlight itself on the high beams, that the high beams are not working, it could be the harness, or it could be the high beam that is not working on the car, but it should be working. So I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna be removing these lights and putting them back to stock ones, and taking off the grill. Alright, here's the harness right here. This one's the high beam, and this is the regular light. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna try is just connecting this one and taking off the high beam off the original headlight. I'm gonna check it if it works here. If it doesn't, see what's going on right now. So this is going to be a disclaimer. I'm not going to be responsible for anybody, but if you want to try using a tester, you have to be really careful. So it's at your own risk. Sorry, I got it grounded already. I checked it with a battery, it's working. So that's the way I'm going to check the light. It's at your own risk if you burn your headlights or your wiring up, or a fuse or whatever. So the easiest thing to do first is to check the headlight to see if it's working there. If it's working here on the original harness, that means something's wrong with this. It might be in here, the pins in here. If they're not, the lights are new, I don't think it's the lights. Because the truth on mine, when I bought the first two, I bought them in separate places. One of them, the highlight didn't work, but it turned out that it was the highlight itself. It was the whole light. It was not working. So, because one of them worked and one didn't. So I tried one of them on both sides, and the one that the high beam worked, and it did work on both sides. So it wasn't the light, and it wasn't the harness. It was the light itself. Okay, one of the problems that I had when I barely got the harness was in here it has the 2 pins, right? So I connected it fast, like I was just trying to connect it, and I noticed that one of these pins right here, was folded like to the left. It was to the left like that. So when I took it out, it was not going directly into the harness, so that's why it didn't work, the highlight. So you have to, this is a harness itself, so you have to make sure that take these out and make sure these are going inside the harness. So now I'm gonna connect the original highlight, see if this is working. That should be like the first step you take. If this is working, that means something's wrong with the harness. So you see there's power coming out of here, so it's not the high beams. So the next step I would take is making sure when you put this in there that it's connected right. That way it's going straight into the pins like that. So now, without disconnecting this one, without connecting the other side, just connect this one, the high beam one, and then follow the wire, the blue and the black, and use the tester like on there. So I would connect this, make sure that there's power, connect it to the battery, make sure there's power. Okay, just be really careful on this, but the good thing is when you just connect the high beams, none of the other ones are gonna have power, right? So you follow the wire, the whatever color it is. This one in my case is blue, and then the black one. So you're gonna go look for the blue one. You're gonna test it right there. Okay, so I try to put the tester in there, but I don't want to mess up the hard disk. So you get like a little a needle, you put it in the blue one, you follow the blue one or the purple one from the harness, whatever color your line is, and then you check it to see if there's power. On my case, there's power. This is just a high beam, so that means that there's power to the high beam. So the power is coming out through the harness, so that means your harness is good. See how there's power right there? So the harness is good, so that means there's power coming out of the harness into the headlight. So the only thing else I could think is gonna be the light itself. So that's gonna be the troubleshooting for the high beam. If the power is coming out of the high beam here, that means there's power coming through here, going into here. And the only other thing I could think is it's the light itself. But I think you should check the connections in here too. And there you go, that's it. Don't forget to follow me at Jrod.Custom on Instagram. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.